Now, I know what you're thinking. Outbreak has only been out for a few days. How on earth are you talking about DLC 2 already and why? And I agree with you, but with Outbreak, Treyarch has included some incredible new intel that teaches us so much about what's coming with DLC 2. So I definitely recommend you watch this to the end, as this is one of the biggest and most exciting storyline videos I've made on Cold War Zombies yet. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below with your thoughts and ideas. Like the video as well, and subscribe if you're new. It's free and only takes a second. And if you love Zombies merch, then this incredible poster as well as my Cold War perk poster packs are 20% off, but only until this weekend with code Outbreak. If you want to check it out, there's a link below. But anyway, diving into things, since the release of Cold War Zombies, we've been given clues to some locations that we'll be visiting. Some clues were for Vietnam, which was Firebase Z, clues for the Ural Mountains, which is Outbreak, and there's one location left, which is Berlin. Going over some prior clues, since launch, if you go to the creator class menu, there is a computer screen showing a map location of Berlin. There's a very specific red dot on this image as well, like as if Treyarch want to hint at a very specific part of Berlin in Cold War. But if you overlay Google Maps over this computer map image and look at where the red dot locates to, it takes you to a really interesting location. A very suspicious looking tower, and this is the exact same tower that you can see outside the map on Kino de Toten in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles. This tower has existed outside of Kino de Toten ever since 2011, so Treyarch referencing this is absolutely bonkers and one of the main bits of evidence to suggest that we might see a portion of Kino de Toten in the future in Zombie. But Season 2 gives us concrete proof that Berlin is our next Zombies map location via a new radio you unlock for beating Firebase Z. This message is sent by a brand new character we've never heard of before called Heinrich Meyer, who is the station chief for Office of Requiem in Berlin, who describes a developing situation over here where Dr. Alexandra Valentina of Omega Group, who is the crazy lady we see at the end of the Firebase Z Easter egg cutscene wearing the beret, smirking with Kravchenko about to gauge Peck's eyeball out. Yeah, she is going to be a very big character in this DLC map, where for an unknown reason, she has gone to Berlin to scout several locations for a reason that Requiem are not sure of. Now, she is directly involved with Omega's interdimensional research, so you'd assume that she'd be there because there is an anomaly there, but oh no, the purpose is so much worse than that. Treyarch has had this dangling in front of our eyes since the game's launch. Now, I can't take credit for this personally, as I wouldn't have realized this, so massive shout out to Eric Maynard in the Zombies community for piecing this new Valentina intel to story stuff we were given on day one. In D Machine, there is two ciphers that you can unlock, which are called the V cipher, which are two secret messages that are written by a character called V. Now, at first, we thought this V meant Dr. Vogel, who was the director of Project N Station. He was knocking about in 1944, and we're in 1984 right now. But with this new intel, it pretty much confirms that the V is Valentina, who in her first secret message says, "Inform the Chancellor that preparations have been made to open the third front. N Station is ready to receive the package as soon as it can be assembled and transported. We are honored to help facilitate the Reichstag's plan." Now, considering Valentina is working for Omega, a Russian group, why is she stating here that she is helping to open the third front, basically resurrecting the from World War II? This is absolutely bonkers to think in the new zombie storyline. This person is going behind Omega Group's back, an army of dead and that's exactly what we see some zombie models in D Machine actually being soldiers. Now, this second cipher message is also labeled with V, and interestingly enough, is actually in German. In the new Season 2 intels, we learn that Valentina can speak German. The second cipher message reads, "Departure without further incident. All values stable. Arrival in Germany. As discussed, whatever happens now, victory is certain for us." She works for a mega group, but is referencing resurrecting the and is now headed into Berlin, which we see from this message. It says arrival in Germany, so it's clearly referencing Valentina. She is purposely going behind Omega Group's back in order to resurrect dead from World War II. You can already basically back up that she is going behind Omega Group's back via another new intel added in Season 2, where she's trying to get someone from Omega Group to go ahead and deliver Valentina specific research information delivered to an address in Berlin on subjects such as targeted dimensional breaching, membrane permutations, particle distortion modules, all whilst doing this behind Dr. Peck's back. If we even look at the Season 1 report, which was written by Valentina, which shows a timeline of events, she mentions on the 15th of July that she discovered 2 reels of film in an intelligence vault sealed since 1945. Clearly, she might have been very interested by what she saw. Hence all of these strange messages and doing stuff behind Omega's back. Going back to the radio at hand, Meyer has a team trying to intercept Valentina's communications. He later writes to Weaver that he has intercepted communications with Alexandra Valentina and a suspected operative there in West Berlin. So there is another new secret character introduced here coming into DLC 2 that we don't know of, apart from 2 things. 1, they are a male, and 2, they speak German. So make of that what you will. In this intel, Meyer says that this interception supports the suspicion that Omega is setting up a major operation here in the US occupied sector of the city, which I'd assume is the same part that this Meyer character talking to Weaver is also based in. So now we know for sure that we are going to Berlin in the next Zombies DLC map, but what exactly could Berlin look like in Zombies? Well, as you've seen on the video right now, it's all gameplay from a mission called A Brick in the Wall, which is set in Berlin. Looking back at how Treyarch created Firebase C, they reused a ton of assets from the Vietnam campaign missions, and there's a good chance that Treyarch will do the same here with this campaign mission set in Berlin. Now, what makes this location even more fascinating is if we go all the way back to when Black Ops Cold War Zombies was first revealed to us, we got the intro cutscene for Die Maschine, and it involves Samantha Maxis walking into a payphone, and funnily enough, that was set in East Berlin, exactly where Dr. Valentina was first spotted. And funnily enough, the area of the payphone that Samantha visits is identical to what's in this campaign mission. The road and street are absolutely one-to-one identical, which is incredible. And wouldn't it be amazing to actually see in-game in a map the street that Samantha walked on here, to learn the significance of why she was in this particular area of East Berlin to begin with? The idea of it alone just seems super cool. And looking at what the weather, the atmosphere, the mood is like in this cutscene, it matches the same weather, the nighttime themes that you see in this campaign mission. So there's a chance that if this does use parts of the campaign mission we're seeing, then this map is going to be dark, it's going to be very gloomy, and could make for a very different map vibe to what we've had so far, with bright, colorful, open maps, with Die Maschine being sort of open and bright in the middle of the day, and then we've got Firebase C, which is very open, very colorful, happening towards the late afternoon stroke early evening, and this being set potentially at night. But that's purely just from a speculation point of view, looking at what they could reuse for this Berlin Zombies map. There's no proof or any concrete evidence that that could happen, but I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on what a Zombies map with that sort of vibe in Cold War could be. Probably the thing that would match it the most is like the Der Ries skybox and nighttime setting. It could be really cool in Cold War. Now, going back to what we mentioned at the beginning of the video of this monitor showing a location in East Berlin that matches the tower from Kino der Toten is incredibly interesting, because whilst that chandelier in Golova really looked like the chandelier from Kino during the teasers, and I know we went a little bit overboard on that, the fact that Treyarch have sort of teased Kino der Toten via this map location on the menu since the launch of the game, and there has been a few leaks and rumors over the past month or so on future DLC map locations, and one map location specifically was Berlin, but they mentioned that there would be parts of Kino der Toten in it. But again, until we know for sure, we can only treat that as speculation and a cool idea. And if that was to happen, I could imagine it would be in a very similar way to Nackda and Toten in Die Maschine, where it would just be like one part of the map, but there would be so much more to it that you wouldn't class the entire map as a full-on remake of that map, but more of a original map that just has a portion of a remake inside of it. But my god, just the idea of this map alone, as well as the context narratively of Dr. Valentina and what she's seemingly planning to do, is incredibly exciting. I mean, if we go and look back at the intro cutscene for Die Maschine and the videotape that Samantha discovered, it's literally what those men discovered all the way back in 1945 when they came across the cyclotron in Die Maschine. By the sounds of it, she literally wants to create her own army of the dead. Ever since Cold War Zombies first came out, we've always been told told that Requiem are the good guys and Omega are the bad guys. And whilst that's still true to an extent, it seems almost too predictable and too easy for the story to just continue down that road. Throwing a huge plot twist in like this is just the perfect thing in my opinion, and I cannot wait to see what happens. I could talk for so much longer on this topic, but I'm gonna leave the video here. This is easily one of the most interesting storyline videos I think I've ever made so far on Cold War Zombies, and it just makes me incredibly excited for the future of the story and the game. If there's any intels that have had your head scratched and now suddenly you're seeing them in a brand new light, let me know in the comments below your thoughts. And if you want to see more videos like this from me, please let me know, as well as dropping a thumbs up and subscribing. It's free, only takes a second, and you'll never miss out on more great video content like this. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.